Let's get into some questions about the tournament. Our first one comes from Wayne, who wants to know, how do you feel about your matchup in the first round, and is everyone available to play?
Everyone that has played to this point is available, Wayne. We don't have any new bodies coming into the rotation, but our matchup, it's a team that we've played. It's a team we played tightly at their place. We won't be able to play them in our building, but we'll play on a neutral site. And, we're certainly going back and watching all of that film, plus every other game in between. So Coach Fortier has a scout. I know he's been staring at a screen for a long time, last couple of weeks, but I was watching some Columbus State film just before we got on here. That's their most recent game, and they gave a run for their money. So I would never want to say, Wayne, I never say I don't like our matchup. It's going to be impossible, right? We like our matchup. We're the highest ranked team in Ken Palm in our conference. We happen to have a 6th seed, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but we're going to be excited for the opportunity to play. And Wayne, I would also answer your question, Coach Drexel. This might be a nice little nugget you could share with everybody. We think we're playing Charleston, but that will not be officially set in stone until 7 a.m. on Saturday, right, Coach?
Yeah, our possible opponents, if one of the top 4 seeds were to get COVID, we would play Delaware, and if Delaware were to get COVID, we would play Hofstra. The way that everything gets adjusted, so. We're playing Charleston right now, but that could all change up until 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. So
as you guys may or may not know, we split the scouting reports up. Each assistant coach has a group right there. So I can translate that for you. Right now, Coach Fortier's got Charleston, and we're living with the Cougars, right? But if something happens above us, we're playing Delaware, and Coach Jordan's got everything locked down, ready to go. We'll slide in and play, right? And if something happens at Delaware, the spotlight's on Jennings, and he's got to get it done for us, right? So everybody is in the on-deck circle waiting for something to happen.
The next question, this one comes from Matt, who wants to know, what's the team's mindset and conditioning going into the conference tournament while playing just one game in the 4 weeks leading up to it?
As a coach, I think in my earlier years, I was very conscious of not overdoing it. And I think I would go the other way when I was at Army. And I think we would unintentionally decondition our guys. And one of my friends, Coach Lango at Colgate, and Mike certainly has talked about this. Our guys are young. They can play. They want to exercise. They want to get after it. There's time to recover. So we're pretty hard the last couple of days and even last week doing some fall camp conditioning drills that we didn't do a bunch in the guts of the season. We're playing a lot of games, but right now we've got this time. The last thing we're going to look is tired and out of shape. We're excited. We'll be ready to play. And you got to manage it a little bit, but we've been pretty aggressive the last couple of days in the last week or so.
And a follow-up to that is, how does not having that game action and seeing that for a couple of weeks affect the team going into now tournament action, where they're going to be seeing live action in a competitive environment?
I think that's up to the coaching staff and how they want to structure their practices. I know that we've had pretty spirited practices with some of the drills we've talked about and just scrimmaging. We've really changed up the lineups a lot and put some non-traditional lineups together. I won't talk about those lineups in detail just in case there's a Charleston Cougar spy on this call. But, we're able to do some different things with our time and take a look at things. And I think we've seen some of those lineups on the floor, and I think it helped us make some plays and some big plays in the game against James Madison.
Well, and you mentioned everyone in your league, and a question I just have, curious about how scouting's working. I know splitting the responsibilities, coaches are looking at different teams, but it's so unique this year with nobody really getting a chance to play a full schedule. How does that affect how you evaluate teams, knowing that everybody around the league didn't get a full chance maybe to play in the schemes or styles they wanted to play? This is the point in a schedule where a lot of teams are adjusting and really finding their identity. So it could be the case where you run into a team that is an entirely new team from what they were a month or two ago, before cancellations happened.
Yeah, that's a good question. What I would say just quickly on the topic of scheduling, I do think that how you play teams and what their record is when you play them and where you play them, I wish that was factored in to our seeding for our conference tournament. I think that would have a little bit more equity than just win percentage. And I don't know that would be in our favor or not in our favor, but I think that might be a little bit more way to level the playing field. So, but you're right. We could play a number of teams for the first time in our conference tournament. So we have to study them. We have to know them. And our staff has done a great job with that. Maybe we're fortunate that we get to play Charleston and we've won them. But, it's not like we didn't play these guys last year and know what they're doing, haven't been watching them all season. So that's when you really sit back as a head coach and say, we've got a great staff. And I know that whether we play Elon or Delaware or Northeastern for the first time, that our coaches have been living with those stats and those numbers and that film the entire way. And we'll be ready.
So I think a good one to wrap up on, and you can pass this around for everybody on your staff, is just final thoughts and reflections heading into the CAA tournament as you look back on what's probably the most hectic season that's gone on in college basketball. Just your final thoughts as how this has all gone over the last few months.
This is an exciting time. Each of us as coaches and as players have had success in March, and that's why we've assembled this staff. And we want that experience to flow downhill to our players, for them to have that opportunity to have success in March. There is no better feeling. There's no better feeling than having success in March, standing on a ladder, passing scissors to your colleagues that you've invested so much and so much of your day and life over recent months and years together to get to that goal. And that's what we're trying to do. So very appreciative to all of you taking the time out of your day to hop on this call. And I know this same group, and hopefully many, many more, will take time out of their night, Sunday night, to log on to Flow Hoops and watch us get a win, and then put us on the CBS Sports Network there from there on out. So,
well, Coach, thank you to you and your staff for making the time for this. We appreciate it. And just want to thank everyone again who joined us tonight and submitted questions.
thanks, guys. Go Dragons.
Once again, on behalf of Drexel Athletics, I'm Chris Markowitz, wishing you all a good night.